Hel- Hello, Gen Zs. How are you doing today? You are welcome to the Impact Podcast with Brother Taiwo Balogun. And today we are looking at another very important topic that is going to add value to your life. It's going to add value to your life. And not to your life alone. I'm sure it's going to add increase to your bank account. So I want you to get ready. Get ready, get ready. Invite as many people as possible. Invite your friends, everyone that can be part of this session, and let us learn together because we will be learning tonight. Yes, I am sure that you will learn. You will learn because, like you know, Impact Podcast is a ground for learning, for impact, for influence, and also for transformational information. So today we are looking at a top side hustles for Gen Z, and I believe that you are with your pen and your notebook. In fact, if you are not with your pen and notebook, you can watch the replay because this session is value loaded. You know why I'm saying it's value loaded? Because my guest tonight is a man of wisdom, man of knowledge, and also a man of value. So join me in welcoming Mr. Ben Sheyola. Welcome on board, sir.
Thank you so much. It's so good to be here. Thank you so much, Chaplain, for having me.
You're welcome. How are you, sir? We are glad to have you on the Impact Podcast with Taiwo Balogun.
The pleasure is mine to be here. Thank you. And I must commend you for the great work you're doing. Amazing.
Thank you, sir.
Amazing.
Thank you,
Thank you
sir.
for doing this.
Thank you so much, sir. So tonight, like I promised, is going to be value loaded. Value loaded. Like you know, this is another session to learn. And why one of the reasons why we are hosting Mr. Ben is that he is an author, he is a life coach, he's also a minister of the gospel. He is an entrepreneur. Yes, he's an entrepreneur. And there is a book that one of his books is the Gen Z. Remind me, sir. What's the title of
What
the
makes
What
what
makes
makes Gen
Gen
Z
Z
different?
difference? Yes, what makes Gen Z difference? And you see, if you have not read that book, I think you need to read that book because
Mm.
it's loaded. It's loaded. It's loaded. So tonight, without further ado, let us hear from our host, our guest, Oga Ben. I
Yes,
I
sir.
feel like calling Oga.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
Good,
that's
good.
perfectly fine.
So that I'm not boxed in the corner.
No, 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 no. Oga is a
Okay.
common language we use on the street.
All right. So Oga Ben, I want you to, in brief, introduce yourself to audience. We would like to know more about you or what you want us to know about.
Yeah, thank you so much. Once again, so good to be with you, my longtime friend, my, like you often use the word accountability partner. Thank you so much for doing this. And for everyone that has tuned in, thank you so much for joining us on this episode with Chaplain Balogun, Taiwo Balogun. Um, like you heard, my name is Ben. I am just a young man who is moving around town, learning new things. I love to collect books. I love to read books. And I love to write. I have written a number of books, and some other ones are in the pipeline, waiting to be published. Um, my passion is towards self-development and helping people. One thing I know is this: um, in just a few weeks away from being 50 years old, I
Wow.
discovered that life can be very overwhelming. Life can be very daunting. One can get stuck. And life is not a game of luck. And oftentimes people don't know what to do or steps to take. And that's where I come in. I try to provide information, provide support, provide encouragement to anyone that I'm connected to. So that's my primary passion, to help people navigate the journey of life, take decisions that will make them better and achieve the full potential that they came to this world with. And so it's manifested in every aspect of my life. I am a grateful parent of 3 kids. One of them is already an adult, um, just a few months away from being 20 years old. And I have another one that is 18, who is almost 18 years now. And then the last one is just getting into teen years. So I walk around young people and their parents. And I'm so glad that the conversation tonight is targeted towards the Gen Z, the
Yes.
powerful generation.
Oh, I like that. In fact, that is going to be our first question because I think you were the one that introduced that word to me. The word Gen Z. Yes, I can't lie to you. When you told me about your book, and well, I was like, Gen Z.
Mhm.
So, and as curious as I am, I went to Google and I began to search what is Gen Z, Gen Z,
Mhm.
Gen Z, and I saw that, oh wow, this is what they call generation. However, but in your own statement or sentence, how would you define Gen Z so that some of our audience, because I believe it's like a new word or buzzword to some people.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
please help us out, sir.
Yeah, so when you hear the word Gen Z, it is just the coinage of the sociologists um, in the Western world to describe different generations. And maybe we'll not bother ourselves with how it all started, but we have the baby boomers. Actually started with the GI. A generation was not recorded, but it traced um, different generations, and they saw some peculiar things about them.
Mm.
And so each peculiarity became the standpoint for each generation. But let me just take it from the list that we have and see how much we can push it up.
Okay.
Currently, we have what we call the Gen Alpha. They are the kids born from 2013
Okay.
till today. Then before Gen Alpha is Gen Z. Gen Z is just, a coinage. And it talks about kids born in 1997 to 2012. Now, it's not like there is something about the figure, but they are just trying to say, oh, looking closely at this, the people born between this age range, there is something that is unique to them. Now, before Gen Z, we have people we call the Gen Y. Some people call them the millennial. Okay, so these are people born from 1981 to 1996. Then we have the people we call Gen X. I belong to Gen X. People born in the mid 70s up until 1980. And then we have people before us called the baby boomer. And then it goes on and on and on like that. But narrowing it down to Gen Z, there is so much peculiarity about them. I am not a Gen Z. I came before um, the group before Gen Z. And looking at Gen Y, which we call the millennials, and Gen Z, there is a big difference between them. Now, maybe in the course of our conversation today, we'll be able to dive into what differences exist
Okay.
or peculiarities of this group. But speaking of Gen Z, they are just the children born between 1997 and 2012. And there is so much that is different. We also call them the Zoomers.
Mm.
And it's not a coincidence that they exhibit so much traits that makes them unique and different from all the previous generations.
Mm. Thank you, sir. So now
Yes, sir.
getting into the subject of today.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to know why you think Gen Z are so interested in starting side hustles, and
Oh, amazing.
let's
So,
understand what drives that interest in them.
so many things, so many things. You know, the world has changed. Even for me as a parent, I've come to see it firsthand, having Gen Z and Gen Alpha in my house. It's so glaring. Now, how we were raised is completely different from how they are being raised.
Mm.
And so maybe I should give some few points on why they are interested
Okay.
in doing side hustles. By the way, you're just joining, we're talking about tapping into the opportunity to make money from different sources. Now, contrast to what I grew up to know. The rule we were given, the mantra we had while we were growing up is be serious with your education, go to school,
Mm.
get good grades,
Yeah.
come out of school, start work,
Look for good
start a
job.
family,
Mm.
get a good job,
Yes.
start a family, raise a family. We were never raised with the mind that, oh, even while you are going to school, you could be making money.
Sure. Mm.
We were never raised with the mindset that, look, life is not just tied to your college degree.
Mm.
You get a degree, but you can also do other things. So that's where the advent of side hustle came from, where you can combine things together that can give you money. But specifically, the Gen Z are more interested in side hustles today. Number one, because the economic status of the world has changed. Before you could venture into business, there are certain heights, there are certain pedigrees you need to have. But today, no, you can dive in straight
Mm.
and get into business without even having a business degree. You don't have to apply to start. You don't have to be under somebody to start. So the economic status has changed. And by the way, the economy is no longer predictable. So that's a driver. Another thing is the desire for financial independence. Everything about us, I mean, up until I finished my master's degree program, I still depended on my parents.
Oh.
After my first degree, father said, what's your plan? I want to go back for my master's. We still had to struggle to do it. But today, my son is heading to college, but he's already making money.
Mm.
So there is this drive for financial independence where, yes, I can leverage opportunities that are available. And that will take me to the third point. It has given birth to what we call the entrepreneurial spirit.
Mm. Mm.
Back in the days, when you make any discovery and you come up with any new thing, you have to go through many rigors, processes to get things out. But today, carry your phone, tell the world what you have discovered, and people are buying.
Mm.
And that has led to entrepreneurial spirit. And remember, this Gen Z, we call them the digital natives,
Mm. Yes.
meaning that our own generation, myself and you, sir, we are the hybrid generation.
Mm.
We saw analog in full-fledged, but we also saw the advent of
Of digital.
digital age,
Sure.
right?
Yes. Yes.
We saw rotary phone.
Mm.
We saw black and white TV. We saw newspapers printed and sold on the street.
Yes.
We saw when TV broadcast will start at 4 p.m. and it will end at 12 midnight. We saw the
And
first,
that time they would just sing one song.
the national anthem. That's purely
Yes.
digital. We saw the first 24-hour radio station.
Mm.
We saw that. But we also saw the explosion of internet,
Mm.
introduction of it before it eventually exploded.
That's what.
But this Gen Z we're talking about, they came in at a time that everything was exploding. Remember, I said their age starts from 1997. They were close to that millennium bubble burst, the 2000 year
2K.
2000
Yes.
Y2K.
Y2K.
Any Gen Z at 2000 was just about 3 years. So they grew up into digital age. And I tell you, it has changed how business is done. And so it makes them to be ready for side hustles. Unlike some of us that were raised and we didn't know how to. If your father was not a businessman, you probably didn't know much about business.
Sure.
If your father were to be a teacher, you were trained and raised to go to school, pass, get a college degree, get a work in the bank or with the civil service, and just go on with your life. But theirs is different. It's completely different. Okay?
Yes,
I don't know if I've answered the question.
Yes, absolutely, sir. So now let's look at for someone who has never had a side hustle before. You know, there are some Gen Zs too that they have not done any side hustle. They have not done any business, but some of them are good in pushing other people's stuffs. You understand? So what is the easiest way to start making money quickly? Because, you know, they are the generation of of people that wants to make things happen instantly.
Yeah.
So what would you advise should be their entry point?
Okay. Very good question. Thank you so much. But before I answer that question, let me clarify this, or let me put this on record.
Okay, sir.
While Gen Z and be said they are the full-blown babies of internet revolution, the world cannot do without the internet again. We have sorted that, and we have confirmed that. We can't survive it. Gen Alpha, which is the generation after Gen Z, they are full-blown AI generation.
Say that again, sir.
They are the full-blown AI generation. I said this about 3 or 4 years ago. Even learning, education, classroom setup, examination, many things in 5-10 years will completely change because of AI. When I said it, some people took me up like offensive. How can you say? I said it's going to come to a time you will need to go through 4 walls of the classroom to write an exam. Because whatever the teacher needs to teach, AI will teach and teach better, but we still need to examine and test and go through practicals and go through. And by the way, we have seen it. I went to Robert University 7 years ago on a field visit, and already we see how mechanical engineering students can be taught using immersive technology, VR, AR, to really do practicals. You can feel engine, feel it moving, and the engine is not real. So AI is something, what internet did to our world is what AI is going to do subsequently. And Gen Alpha will be at the forefront of that. That's going to rule their life. Now to your questions. To your question, what are the side hustles that Gen Z can take up? I need to note that there is nothing new they need to do. It's already existing. The side effect, just like you take any medication and it has side effect, the side effect of the explosion we have today is distraction.
Okay.
So what's supposed to be a tool, the phone that could be a tool of doing side hustles, will also be the tool of distraction.
Distractions and wasting time.
Wasting time. So just like you mentioned, and I picked your word, they are busy pushing other people's content and they are busy consuming other people's content.
Sure.
And nobody's going to pay you for consuming. You are paid for creating or curating.
Instead of paying, you are the one paying for consuming because you
You are
pay
the
for data,
paying.
you are also paying the time. Mm,
You're paying. The
mm,
people think, oh, YouTube is free. So when I get stuck on YouTube and I'm
mhm,
just watching, I say, yeah, keep watching. You're just making somebody rich.
mm, mm,
But the ideal thing is, what are you putting out that will make others, that will make them busy, and you'll be getting rich? So what are the opportunities that we can explore? Freelancing, 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 freelancing. It starts with writing. Copywriting is selling. It
Despite the
used to
fact that
be
we have a lot of AI tools out there.
absolutely. So
Mm,
here's the thing. AI can be used as a tool.
mm,
People have asked me, does it mean that AI is going to take over? We're going to lose our jobs? I said, no. Just like computer helped those who are doing typing,
mm,
as many that embraced computer, personal computers when it came out, they didn't lose out. But
mm,
people that stayed on their typewriters and say, oh, this your computer is not going to last,
mm.
they lost out of that race.
Big time, sir.
So AI is a tool that should be used even in all these skills that you develop.
Mm,
So I'm talking about
Freelancing.
freelancing,
Mm,
writing. The funniest thing is, I read the book, and I'm sure you have the book. I remember we shared the book together, The Future of Innovation.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember that book.
It's a two book in one.
Yes, yes.
That guy, Jeremy, said the level of AI that we are at the
It's
moment
still at the early stage.
is still at the infancy level
Yes.
because AI is responding based on what we call the
Learning.
machine language.
Mm,
What you put into it is what is bringing out. It's not thinking and creating for us yet. So for anybody watching, you can fly in that zone of freelancing where you develop skills in creating,
mm,
designing, in writing. Even if Canva is now being AI driven, it still needs your input.
Yes.
And sir, there's something I've noticed.
Mm,
No matter how much common and saturated the environment is with all this technology, we will always have people that will never catch up.
Sure. Sure.
And that's where
Absolutely.
money comes from.
Because some people don't want to go through that stress.
I live in the United States of America. It's shocking that there are still some people they don't know how to use an iPad.
Oh, seriously?
I'm not kidding, sir. I've come across them by the virtue of the job I do. Some don't have smartphones.
Mm,
We have to call them to say, okay, we shipped an iPad to you, press this,
wow.
go to this. Some, do you know there are still some parts of America they don't have Wi-Fi?
Yeah. Sure.
So that's still a good market to make money from. Now, let's leave freelancing. Another area which we've been talking about is social media,
Mm,
managing social media. I have sat under trainings of 22-year-olds
mm.
that have made excess of 10, $20 million
Wow.
doing social media management. It's no longer the big PR firms.
Mm,
No, people develop their companies on their own in marketing product and they get results.
Instantly.
They get good result. This
Mm,
is not making up. This is not motivational.
mm.
If you grab media management, there are still some small businesses, corner shops, that all you need to do, and this is where I'm going, all you need to do is give them a sample. I'm going to promote you for the next 1 week. And I tell you, we'll give you the metrics, we'll give you the data. The traffic you are going to get for your business will be measurable. And the agreement is this: when I do it for you, I just need a commission. I need a certain amount for every sale I generate. I tell you, you're in for money.
Mm.
You'll be making a lot of money from that. So you can examine social media management, not just you being a creator, but you can market for many. I mean, go on Instagram. There are many products that are being marketed to us. And people are buying because somebody is marketing.
Mm.
Another one you can do is online tutoring.
So, sir, before
Online
you go
tutoring.
into the online tutoring, sir,
Yes, sir.
this digital marketing that you mentioned, I think
Yep.
some people used to think that it is almighty, that it's difficult to learn, or that it is something that they cannot, or maybe the market is saturated to get into. So, what is your advice in terms of knowledge acquisition and also, entry into that market, even the as at now?
Okay. Yeah. It looks like it's saturated, but look at it from this angle. Over 8 billion people exist on the surface of the earth.
Mm.
But look at the internet penetration around the world. Look at the percentage of people that are on social media.
Mm.
Facebook has not gotten up to 4 billion people.
Mm.
So it means half of the world has not been, the whole world is not saturated yet.
Yeah.
Yes, it's quite overwhelming. There is so much out there. But here's what I found out. For you to start the whole thing inside also to do social media management, YouTube is your friend.
Mm. Mm.
YouTube is one of the biggest blessings in human history because you can learn literally anything
Anything.
on YouTube.
YouTube is an institution on its own.
It is. It is. I grew up where great men like Brian Tracy would teach us to carry CDs in our cars, and he'll say, "Make it university on wheel."
Mm.
But have you noticed, sir? The recent cars, they don't even have CD players.
No.
They don't.
Mm.
What they are saying to us is the world has moved.
Mm.
So for anybody that is watching and you want to penetrate into that field, YouTube is your friend. That's number one. Number two, even in your local environment, people are struggling to sell things.
Oh.
And I think we're having this conversation off camera some days ago. And I mentioned this to you if you remember. I said if I have to teach my kids all over again, which I'm now teaching them, is to learn the skill of
Sales and
is to learn
marketing.
the skill of sales and marketing.
Mm.
Because the rule of the world of sales is give me commission for every product I sell
Mm.
versus getting a salary or a paycheck
Mm.
that is fixed. In fact, some of the guys I've met in the US, the secret to their making money and in multiplying their wealth is sales.
Mm.
So if anybody is watching at this time and you're wondering, how do I dive into it? Look at an immediate environment. There's what we call affiliate marketing. It's on Amazon. I'll give you this example.
Mm.
I was at a conference and I was to handle the Q&A for a very prominent speaker. Now, I can mention names. Somebody may say that's name dropping. I was opportune to interview Dr. Sam Adeyemi at a big conference. I ordered his book before the conference so that I could prepare, have a robust knowledge in terms of what he has written in that book on leadership. I went to the media production room and I said, I need you to develop the QR code for his book on Amazon so that we can show on the screen, online audience, hundreds of people joining online, and a large audience in the auditorium. And this person said, do you have Your Amazon monetized? I said, no, I said, I have mine. I said, that's a good way for you to make money.
Mm.
And you know what that means?
Mm.
An opportunity was created for this person. All she needed to do was to go. So I sent her the link. She opened it on her own
On our own account.
Amazon account
Mm.
and copied the link, developed the QR code. I don't know how many people bought. I'm not involved with Dr. Sam's sales. But it's simple. If 100 people bought books by scanning the QR code, what they have done is marketing.
Mm.
That person has done marketing, and they will get a fraction of that sales. And I tell you, there are still many people who are looking for opportunities
Mm.
to sell their product, and you can help them. You can turn their businesses around and make money from it.
So selling is a skill that is not negotiable.
It will never go out
Wow.
in human race, because life is about selling. If ever you are selling, like Grant Cardone said, sell or be sold.
Mm. Sell or be
If you are
sold.
not selling, they are selling to you. You can't be neutral.
Mm.
Somebody is selling you something that you are paying with your time, with your attention, with your emotion, with everything you have. And, advertisement runs on that. It's on sales.
Every
they push
time,
something
every
to
day.
you. They push it so
Wow.
much that it gets to a time. Why do people still drink Coca-Cola, despite the fact that they say it's not too good for them?
Yes.
It's the game of sales. And the tool of sales is marketing.
Yes, so. Yes, so.
And the pipeline of marketing is advertisement.
Adverts. Say that again, Baba.
It's simple. So if any young person is watching, just trace it back. How can I advertise for this person? I'll give you another example.
Okay.
I have someone I also relate with, and we're going through this process. And she was just telling me last week that, do you know, this idea I had last year that I was not taking up, I found it on Instagram. And what's the idea? People want to dress modest. And honestly, for female folks, there are some people who don't really enjoy this half-naked style of dressing.
Sure.
They want to be trendy. They want to be, cute. And they don't want to look old school. So the whole idea was, okay, let me develop this online marketing strategy where I will buy and dress and match the colors and just put online. Meanwhile, while putting online, I would have registered with different merchants, and I would put the link on my bio. So when people see my style, they like it. They click the bio, they buy.
You get your own cut.
You get your cut.
Wow.
But guess what this person who is doing it now is doing? He's not even sending any link. The big companies are now giving her the clothes.
Wow.
To wear. So number one,
so it's like user generational content. See.
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
Like you are invariably, it's not making it look like influencers marketing, where you are now an icon and whatever you show.
Wow.
But that's not how this person started. This person started out by saying, you know what? If you want to dress modest, these are the combinations, and you still look trendy, you still look fashionable. And that became
bam. And that's a good idea for someone out there. Awesome.
Somebody go do it. You can do it for African wears, you can do it for American wears, you can do so many, you can do it for footwears. You can do it for accessories. You just need to show it. Instead of just showing, oh, I woke up this morning, I'm not feeling happy. Nobody cares about that. Who cares whether you're happy or not? If it does not, the only time they will care is if you have become an influencer. You have 2 million following you. The day you say you are not happy, all your followers will not be happy. I mean, the day you say you are not happy, they will not be happy. The day you say you're excited,
they will be excited.
But if you're not there yet, get products and start showing. Another one I saw, and it's common on Instagram. People now go into the stores and talk about products that are not good for human health.
Mm.
So they just hold their phone. They say, this product, see, this is how you know this is not good. And they talk about the ones that are good. Now, people want anything that will take care of them, that will protect their health, that will improve their health. So they have followers.
Mm.
Even the companies are not paying them to do it. But the fact that people are watching, see, people who are cooking,
Mm.
who are cooking, they say, oh, new ways to do. I mean, I give myself to healthy living and healthy eating. And I came across this thing, how to prepare solid food from unripe plantain.
Mm.
I grew up knowing that it used to be dried, you now blend it,
Yes, yes, yes.
and they thought that you could actually peel it as,
And blend
fresh
it.
as it is and blend it. Man
Mm.
of God, I tried this thing, no,
It works. We used to eat it in a jar.
and I enjoyed it.
Very, very delicious.
So you can't get it wrong on
Sure.
social media.
Say that again, sir. You
You
can't
can't get it wrong.
get it wrong. So, to Bestie Entertainment, thank you. You are getting value from this. More wisdom, sir. Thank you. Get sales. Yes.
Thank you.
It is all about sales, marketing, and advertising. Advertising, marketing, and sales. Sir, I think you're going to help us with these keywords, because most of the times a lot of people mix it up. So maybe you can help Gen Z out there to distinguish between advertising, marketing, and sales.
Okay, so your end point is to generate sales,
Mm.
or the means to generate sales is to market. And the only way you can market is to advertise. Layman's explanation.
Straightforward. So
The end point is to generate sales.
Mm.
No matter how much advertisement you run, if it does not convert to sales, you have wasted resources.
Mm. Mm.
And in the process, so I have a bottle of water here before me. If I want to sell 1,000 pieces of this, what I'm doing is I'm going into sales. And I'm saying, for me to sell this, to generate sales and earn income, maybe through commissions or direct sales, and I make profit, people need to know about it. And the process of making people know about it, in layman's term, is marketing. And the vehicle that helps that marketing is when you now advertise. You show it. I'm showing this now. Somebody's seeing it. Oh, I think I like that brand of water. Oh, look at the jacket I'm wearing. This jacket is very good. You can even wear it in summer because it's fashionable. You can wear it in winter because it will cover you from cold. Click my bio to get the link to get it. What I'm doing is to advertise this thing. And in the process of advertising it, exposing it to you, I am selling it to you. I am marketing it to you. The end point, when you click my bio and go on the link, and it takes you to the website where you can pick your size, you can pick your color, you can pick your shape, and you buy. What we have done is to complete sales process.
Wow. Wow.
And every young person, every Gen Z, it's not enough to be popular on social media. If you can't generate sales, you'll be broke.
Somebody should drop that in the comment section. To Bestie, I can see your comment. Yes, yes, yes. You can't get it wrong on the social media. Yes, great question. Distinguishing between sales, marketing, and advert. Now, Oga Ben just mentioned something now, that there's no matter how popular you are on the social media, if you cannot convert sales, you are joking. And he also mentioned something earlier on, that there is a difference between consuming, creating, and curating. I want you to expatiate that, because so many people are also, there are some buzzwords that this generation needs to understand. Help us, sir.
So when it comes to content,
yes,
I'm sure you remember we shared this off camera some few hours ago or so.
Yes, sir.
A study I'm doing and a book I'm reading. Now, but this is not even from the book, but there is still these general rules when it comes to content. 3 categories of people. people who create, people who curate, and people who consume. Now, I can't say who did the study, but one of the studies that I came across said 90% of the audience consume. They consume. 9% curate, 1% create. When you do faceless YouTube automation and make money from it, what you are doing is curating, but there is still money there.
Sure.
But when you record videos of yourself and you come up with an idea for a niche and it's original to you, you are creating. But the bottom line is, don't be among the 90% that all they do all their lives is just to consume. No economy grows on consumption. That's why a lot of African countries are backward. They are only consuming. They are not creating.
Wow.
Any economy that is not producing, and in exchange for what they produce, they are getting foreign currencies, forex. They will always depend on World Bank for loan.
I think.
And so for young people,
I think yes, we might have to bring you back for the second edition of this episode, because I can understand you are on tight schedule at the moment, and me, I'm enjoying it, and we have a lot to cover.
Okay, let's do part 2.
So please, let's do part 2. But before you go, yes, two more points, 2 more things to ask you. Number 1 is in terms of time management. How do you think we can balance or Gen Z? How can they balance side hustle with schooling? Some of them are schooling, some of them are working, and they also have other responsibilities that can be tough. So what tips do you think they can use in managing their time effectively?
So there's a man, Nir, N-I-R. I read his book some years ago, and it just came back to me just when you mentioned this. One single tip I can give, among many others, is fight distraction. The problem is not too many things we are doing. In fact, studies have shown that the world, as more complicated as it appears to be, is a lot easier to navigate many things. There are many things that can be running simultaneously in your life, and all of them are doing well. So the challenge is not being overwhelmed by many tasks. You are in school, you are having side hustles, you are volunteering in your local community, maybe in a faith-based organization, and you are also responsible in your family. All these can go side by side. Your greatest enemy is not overwhelming task, is fighting distractions. When you fight distractions, you can adequately prioritize. And when you can get your priorities right, you become a master of using your time. Distraction is the issue. I'll give you an example.
Okay, sir.
You can be in school in today's world, because everybody will still have the same 24 hours. Mind you, remember when you were growing up, sir, to read and learn something new, you needed to go to the library.
And those of us that don't have library, we will burn candles.
So you have to stay awake all night. Okay, you go to the library, you borrow the books, you have to. But today, with your phone, with your laptop, with your iPad, the whole library is before you. So you are not spending time to go to look for the book and borrow the book and bring it.
Yes.
The challenge you're going to have is the distractions that are taking you away from doing the right thing at the right time, which is the bane of this generation.
Mm.
And listen, in my book, What Makes Gen Z Different? One of the comments I've had parents say is that the Gen Z are lazy. But I often say they are not lazy. They're only finding life easier than we found it. A Gen Z, give an assignment to a Gen Z. For example, my son, my first son, he's not lazy. I can't say he's lazy. But give him any task. The first thing he's thinking of is, how do I automate this task?
Yes. You know,
That it's easy for me.
yes, and you know, to some parents, it looks as if they want to cut corners or something like that.
So a Gen Z is saying, Mom, instead of me spending 30 minutes every morning cleaning the house, can we buy this robotic cleaner? So that while the robot is cleaning, I can do something else.
Yes.
But the parents are like, oh, when I was your age, I will carry broom and sweep. I'll sweep the compound.
That's what they call
Of
them
course.
in America, African parents. It's
African parents.
But because of your time, I'd like us to close with this, and I can see your comment. Yes, 91% of creators and 9% of. So, sir, where can we connect with you? Because you've dropped a lot of knowledge, and I know I can understand that your time is very, very tight today. So, like I said, we will be glad to bring you on board again. However, where can we connect with you?
I am everywhere you can find. I'm on Instagram and I'm on Facebook.
Okay.
You can just search Ben Sheiola. As a matter of fact, and I think we discussed this
Yes.
off camera, my team is also working on the overhauling of my brand.
Okay.
We're actually working on the website, so the website is not up. There are new contents we have developed that we know will really benefit people and educate, not really entertain, but just point you to where you need to go and what you need to do to be better with your life. So, but for now, you can get me on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, on TikTok. I'm on TikTok, though not very, very active. It's part of what we're working on. But just search the name Ben Sheiola. And and if you need any personal contact, I offer free, not coaching. I'm not a coach, but I can offer free guide and lead you on, okay, you need to do this. You are stuck with certain things. Can you take this step? Can you read this? I can give you some resources that can help you and just put you on the right track. And I've seen people do that, and they've done well with their lives.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir. So,
my pleasure.
We want to appreciate you. Thank you for your time. And like I said, we are going to bring you next. I'm not sure if it is going to be next week, but we'll work with your calendar so that we can have the part 2 of this
Thank you so much for that.
We appreciate you, and we want to say best regards to your family. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
You, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, audience, want to appreciate all of you for connecting tonight. I know a lot of you might have questions, but however, please, we're going to have the part 2 of this episode that we had today, because it is one of the things that we need to tackle, or that we need to dig deeper, because a lot of Gen Z are out there, and they are not getting things right. And we cannot fold our hands when we have solution that can help you to start your business or side hustle or side gigs, whatever you want to call it. So I need to speak your language. That's why I'm saying side hustle, side gig. But my generation, we call it business. But however, understand that we have enough to share with you. We have enough to share with you. And like I used to say, this podcast is not all about information alone. It is about what we have tried, or that we are trying at the moment, and it's working, and we're seeing results. That is what we want. We always want to share with you on this channel or on this podcast. So I want to appreciate all of you for your time. To Bestie Entertainment, thank you so much for moderating this session with me, and I appreciate you so much. So on this note, I want you to please share this video. And if today is the first time you are coming across this channel, please subscribe because we have a lot of valuable content that will be coming your way, especially in the month of September. So you may not, you wouldn't want to miss it. You wouldn't want to miss every content that we will be uploading on this channel. So please subscribe so that we can all grow together. And when I say grow together, I mean growing wealth together. That is the mission. We are on a mission, and the mission is to build wealth together. And as you do so, I pray that God bless you, and do have a wonderful weekend. I see you next week. That next week is going to be another live session. If we are going to be having Mr. Ben Sheyola, we'll let you know before next Saturday. But we'll always upload content during the week, so make sure you activate the bell button so that when we upload or come live, you will be notified. And on this note, let's sign out and have a wonderful weekend. Bye.